So hello everyone, welcome to Spentarn learning platform, and today we are going to see the Python programming within few minutes, right? So we are going to discuss here the most important topics that we need to learn before going deep into the data science field or machine learning or AI. We will have a quick overview of the Python here, right? Later in the further videos, we will start our data science course with a full flow, right? So first of all, moving forward, we must have to know that what is Python. Python is a very popular high level language uh, which we can use in the various applications. The application can be the machine learning, the data science, for the gaming field, for the web application as well. So Python is an easy language and which is having the very simple syntax. Why so? Because it generally uses a simple kind of English words. If you are good at English, then definitely you will definitely going to learn this Python programming within a few days, right? The Python can be used for simple tasks that I have already told you, that it can help us plotting our graph as well as the complex tasks like machine learning, data science or AI, right? Although the AI and machine learning is a part of data science, but Python plays a very important role because with the help of Python, we can easily do this kind of all the stuff in a very easy steps, right? Moving ahead, we must have to know what is variable, object, and classes. So variable is a reference to a value stored in a computer's memory. What it means that variable is a reference that is storing something from the computer memory. Suppose, let us take an example. If I'm just defining a equals to 9 and just printing it out here, that a, what it will give me? It is giving me 9. So one more thing here is clear. We have print. What print will do? Print is doing his work as printing any statement. As I've already told you that it is a very simple language. If you know the English, then definitely you can do the Python programming. So print is printing the a. So a is a variable which is storing the integer type. How we will get to know that which type of data type it is storing? So we'll just print it out the type of a, right? What it will give me? It will give me class of integer, right? Suppose I am just storing 9.0. What it mean? It becomes our float. Why? Because I'm using zero point 0 or 0.01, zero point 0.02. Point 0.02. It all considers as a float, right? So A is now acting as a variable which is storing the data of float type, right? Suppose I just give it like this. Now, what is the data type of it? The data type now becomes string. Why? Because I have just given it here these kind of codes, right? I can write it down my name as well inside it. If I just run this code, similar answer you will get the class of string, right? Now, this is all about the variable. One more thing I want to tell you here is the keyword is also having some difference because keyword is somehow different from the variable. The keyword are the predefined kind of data type in our Python. Suppose I'm just writing it here true equals to, I'm giving my name here. So it is giving me an error. Why? Because true is a predefined kind of variable, or you can say the keyword in the Python which we cannot use as our variable, right? So you must have to know this. The basic difference is the keyword is predefined in the Python. You cannot use it as your variable, right? Now, variable can be sorted into a variety of categories, data types such as number, int, float, boolean type, true, false, sequences, string, list, etc. Right? So whatever the things I'm storing into A will be acting like our variable because I'm storing the things into it, right? Now we are talking about the object. An object is a collection of data from computer's memory that can be manipulated, right? All variables are objects, although some objects can be defined by data referred to by multiple variables. Methods are functions used to act on alter an object's data. They describe what your object can do. Now, it would be very clear with the help of classes. So, first of all, we must have to know what is classes. Then we will move to the object as well. So class is a collection of objects who share the same set of variable methods. Suppose, let us take an example here. I'm just defining a class of employee, right? Now, or not the employee, I'm just defining it as company, right? Now, I'm just writing a kind of function into it, right? So the function is the Spentarn, right? I can just give it here the print statement that welcome to Spentarn, right? Now I can define another function into it with the name of Vashistha and just print it out the statement that welcome to Vashistha, right? So these are two functions that I'm using into the class. Now I have made the class. Now if I just run this code, there would be nothing to just print, right? Why? Because I have just only defined the class. What is class? Let it be very clear with the example here. Suppose I am making a car with a hardware structure. So first of all, what I will do is I will just make a kind of blueprint or template for the car first. Suppose a Tarzan the Wonder car was there. So first of all, it was created on the paper. So the kind of paperwork I have done for that car, it would be considered as our class. And whatever the things I will use in the car, in the hardware part, would be considered as our object, right? So I have just made a template here or blueprint here. Now I have to just uh, make its hardware, right? So suppose I'm just making an object A equals to company. So now what it mean is now A would be the object for this company class, right? Now if I just give it as A dot Spentarn, right? Okay, let me clear you one thing as well. If you are not giving it anything, just give it as self. Why self? I will let you know. Self means that the priority will be given to the kind of function that I have defined, right? Here I do not have to give it any external values. The self is just defining these things, that I'm not giving it here any external value. Suppose if I'm just giving it self comma a, that means I'm giving an external value a, but as well as I'm using its self means its own value as well, right? Hope it is clear to you. Now if I just run this code, what it will give me? It will give me welcome to Spentarn because I'm just calling that function with the help of this object because I have already made an object with the help of this class. Now the object can do several things, right? If I just write it down as Vashistha, a dot Vashistha, that means now our object is calling this Vashistha function from this class, right? So it is being printed here, welcome to Vashistha, right? Now, moving ahead, we have basic syntax rules for the Python. So, the name of your variable, my int etc. is placed on the left of the operator. Okay, let me make you more clear about it. I hope class and object is clear to you. Now, moving ahead, what it is saying to us is if I want to define something that I have already tell you, if I am making a kind of a equals to 9, that means I am just making a variable a with storing a kind of data type that is of integer. So always remember one thing: if you are assigning something, that means that should be in the left side, right? That means 9 would be assigned to a, right? Now here they have given an example here. My string equal to hello world. That means if I will just give it similar to that example, what it mean? It mean that my string is storing the string type, right? Let me print it as well. So it is giving me hello world, right? So most variable names are in camel case, where the first word begins with a lowercase letter and any subsequent letter word are capitalized. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. Usually, you just define any kind of variable with a small letter at the starting, right? It is not always, but it is usually used or commonly used, right? Variable names may also appear in snake case, where all words are lowercase with underscore between words. One more thing, the snake case means that everything or any letter would not be in the capital. Everything would be in the small letter. Suppose I'm giving it as like this. So it will just print out the same statement here, right? So they are saying that we can use it as camel case. Also, we can use it as snake case as well. And the assignment operator which we are using is equals to. Okay, well, let me tell you one more thing. It is the assignment operator. So how can I just use the equal operator? So in this case, the equal operator would be equals to. So this kind of operator would be refers to as equal to sign in the Python programming. Remember this thing. If I'm just giving only a single equal, that means it is the assignment operator which is assigning this hello world value into the my string. If I'm just giving it as double equal, that means it is just referring as the equals to value in the Python programming, right? Let me give you an example of it. I have defined my string equals to hello world. Now I'm just defining a equals to hello world. Okay. Now I want to check whether the my string is equals to a or not. So suppose I'm just giving it is here the if statement. I will let you know the if statement in the next few minutes. But uh, let us take an example here for the clearance of the equal to. Okay, right? Now I'm just giving it here my string equals to a, then print print what it will print, it will print it out like true, right? So let's run this code. So it is giving us true. Why? Because my string is equals to a, because both the values are equal here. So this double equals to is somehow referring to as single equal to in the Python programming, right? Now the type of this value does not need to be shared, stated, but its format must abide by a given object type as shown, right? So there are different kind of things that you can see. The hello world, which is the string type. The single 7 is somehow defining as a integer type. Float is 7.0. List type would be, if I just giving the square brackets, it will define the my list as the list, right? And the boolean statement would be the true or false. Let me give you an example of list here also. Suppose I'm giving it here this kind of thing, this kind of brackets I'm using, and I am just using 9 comma 4 comma 8. Now, in the many of the languages, except the Python programming, you will see this kind of things would be considered as array. And array somehow uses the same kind of data type. But in the case of Python list, you can just use a different kind of data type as well. Suppose I want to use a Puneet in this statement or in this list, I can use it. I can use a float type as well. I'm just using 9.00. I can use the list into the list. I am just using list into the list. Suppose Spentarn, I am just giving it here. Okay, just giving it comma, and another thing I'm just giving it the valuation, right? If I just run this code by printing this whole print my string, so it will give me the similar kind of thing. See, I'm just printing it out here, the integer type of values as well as the string type as well as the float values as well as the list into the list, right? So this is the benefit of using the Python programming, that you generally don't have to be panic by only using the array or by only defining the different kind of things. So here the main thing is that it the Python is very much easier than other languages. You can just simply go through to the some kind of syntax and then easily run this and then just easily run your code and just move further to the data science or in any field, right? Now, moving ahead, we must have to know the basic syntax rules. So basic syntax rule is that function syntax, first of all. Function, I have already tell you that if you are defining a function, that means you have to use def. Suppose I'm defining a function with the name of Spentarn, or just change this one. I'm just adding the two things here. Addition. I'm just defining a function with addition and just giving it here the c equals to a plus b. Now you will think that how we will get the values of a and b. So I will just give it a b from here. Now how I would just run this code is I will just use addition 5 comma 4. Also I want to print these statement, right? Okay, now if I just run this code, it will give me 9. None it is giving. Why? Because I am not returning the c, so I have to return the c as well. So you can see the 9 is being printed here. So the basic kind of syntax of function would be just like this, that you have to just use def and then addition, then a comma b. That means you are making or defining a function here and then just calling it here, right? So this is about the function, how you can use the function. This is the type. One more thing, you just don't need this one. You can just reduce your size of this function and just directly do this as well. Suppose now if I run this code, the similar kind of output I'm getting, right? Moving ahead, we have the basic syntax for calling a function, which I have already told you that if you want to call any function, you must have to write down its name and give the values or attributes what you want to give inside the function, then just easily run it, right? Now, the common data types which we need to know before moving deeply in the Python is the basic type would be Boolean, integer, float, list, tuple, string, set, frozen set, dictionary as well. So, let us take an example one by one. Uh, let's take another code here. Okay, I want to just take a list here, which I have already told you that you can just define a list with a bracket or a square bracket. 9 comma Puneet comma okay comma outside the this, okay, 9.0. This is the list here. Now if I just want to define a tuple, the difference between list and tuple would be mutable and immutable. Our list is mutable and our tuple is immutable. What it means is the list can be changed with the help of its index values, but tuple cannot be changed. Why so? Because here the main difference comes is their mutability and immutability. I cannot assign or change the values if I have defined something in the tuple. Tuple can be made with the help of these round brackets, right? Suppose I'm just giving it here 9.0. The similar kind of things would be done here, but basic difference would be mutability and immutability between list and tuple. 9.0 Puneet same and just giving it here 9. So I'm giving the integer in the list, then string, then a float. Similarly, in the tuple, I'm giving a float, then a string, then a simple kind of integer, right? Now, if you want to make a dictionary as well, you can make it with the help of curly brackets. One more thing, if you are making a dictionary, you must have to know the key value pair. So for the key value pair, if I'm just giving it here key equals to 9, that means here, okay, let me make it more clear to you. Okay, the basic difference would be that while you are defining a dictionary, the basic difference would be that in the list you would be using the square brackets, in the tuple you would be just using this round bracket. In the case of dictionary, you will be using these curly brackets, right? So these are some kind of basic operation that you must have to know before moving forward to the list, tuple or dictionary, right? Now, input output statement that we have already seen. Suppose if I want to assign something, if I want to take an input into the A, then I can use A input. I want to take an input from the user and just print the A and run this code. So it will ask me to write an input. So suppose I'm getting 9, so it is printing me 9 as well, right? So this is the beauty of this Python programming, that by using the simple statement of input, you can just take an input from the user. Suppose you want to take an integer here, so you will just use the int type of input and then just have to run this code, right? So one more thing I can do here is I can just give it here, enter your number. So in this case, it would be very much good if it will look like this. So enter your number, I will give 9 and it will print out 9, right? Moving ahead, we have if else statement. So let me copy this code. I will let you know how this is working. So uh, in case of this code, I am just taking an input with the help of x string, which is our variable. One more thing is missing here is I have not defined integer here, so I have to take it as integer because okay, I have defined it on the next line, but I just want to remove this one, and let us suppose it x only, right? Now it is very much good. Okay, okay. If I just run this code, it is giving an error. Why so? Uh, Everything is wrong on this. X equals to integer input, enter a number. Let us take this one line. I don't know what is. Okay, the wrong thing is like this. Something is wrong in this. What it is? That this is an even number. Okay, let's make this program from our own. X equals to, suppose I'm taking an integer type here, input, enter any number. What I'm going to do with this program is I want to check whether the x is odd or even. So if x is odd, if x is divisible by 2 and equals to 0, that means it is an even number. So I will just print it out as uh, even. And if in case it is odd, it will give me else. I do not have to give the condition in else, just print it out as odd, right? So this is the simple kind of if else program which I'm going to use here. If I just run this code and just give an input here as 3, so it should be odd, right? It is giving me odd. Suppose if I'm giving it here 200, so it is giving me even. Why? Because it is easily divisible with 2, right? So this is a simple if else program. You can also use it as elif. So what elif means is, if you want to give the multiple if else statement in a program, you can use elif. Suppose for the elif, what you would do is elif, you will give a condition here. You will give a condition here. Suppose uh, if x is percentile by 3 equals to 0, right? And so what you will write it here, divisible by 3, right? And just remove this thing. Now if I will just give it as 27, it will give me the 3 divisible by 3, because the 27 is easily divisible by 3, right? So the elif statement will work with the if else plus, if I just add on these if else, then elif would evolve and I can just use it as ladder statement in the if else, right? Moving ahead, we have for loops. Let me clear with the for loop as well. If I just want to learn the for loop, you must have to know what is for loop. The for loop is something when we just need to print something in a very long queue. Suppose if I just want to print my name for the 5 times, what I can do, I can just do one thing is I can just copy this one and just print it as 5 times, right? Right? So it is giving me Puneet 5 times. But suppose it is very very much hectic, right? I do not want to consume my time. I just want to just save my time and want it to be concise and just save my time. So in this case, what I can use is the for loop statement, for loop or while loop. I'm just telling you here the for loop how it works. So in case of for loop, what you will do, I'm just writing for I in range up to where I want to print it for the 5 times. So I will give it here the 1 comma. What you will give here the 0 comma. You will give it here as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means you must have to give it as 6. Why so? I will let you know. Okay, there is something missing. What it is missing is now just run this code. Again, there is something missing, that is colon, and you can see it is just running for the 6th time. Why it is? Because I have just given 0 to 6. Suppose I'm just giving 1 to 6, it will just print it for the 5 times. One more thing I want to let you know here is if I'm just giving it as 1 to 6, that means it should print the up to the 6, but it is printing with the 6 minus 1. So remember one thing, if I just defining a for loop or just working with a for loop, there must be a kind of thing that you must have to know before using the for loop, that if you are just giving it here any value after 1 comma or something, which would always work with the n minus 1 value. Suppose I am giving it here n, that means n minus 1 would be run in the case of for loop. So in my case it was 6, so that means the 6 minus 1 up to 5 it would be printed, right? Now moving ahead, we have while loop. So the while loop is somehow similar to the for loop, but the basic difference is we can use the break statement or something. Suppose if in case, take an example here. I just want to use the while loop. So while true, I want to take an input from the, okay, let me delete this one. Okay, while true, I want to just check whether the odd or even, and the number should be even. Till then, the user should enter the value again and again. So while true, x equals to, right, integer input, enter an even value, right? And I will just use the if statements inside it. So if x percentile 2 equals to 0, what it was, then what I have to do is break the statement. If now in else, I would give, what I will give, I will just use it here as print enter again, right? Suppose I run this code, what it will do, so I'm just entering here 3, that means it will again ask me for even value because I have just entered the wrong value because it was asking me for the even value. Suppose I'm just giving it 2, then it would just break out the statement and not ask for any more input, right? So this is how the while statement generally works. where I want to just use the input from the user again and again till my condition is satisfied, right? So this is all about this Python tutorial in which we have discussed some important kind of things that we need to know before moving ahead with the Python programming. So this simple tutorial would make you familiar with the Python programming, and in upcoming videos we will start the data science course of Python programming in future. And if you want any other some courses or any other related topic related to any of the programming language or related to Python, so please comment it out in the comment section. So thank you so much for joining us. We would love your feedback, and just visit to our website www.spentarn.ml. We would be highly thankful to you. So thank you so much.